กาคันริตริกอูริมพังกันลงกสนีสะกันมานากำตากจลามิกาเลียคำตำนากำตากจับเป็นริวคาสิปนาร์ฮาดีนบากสอร์การมิกาเลียกลบุยอมดดูจงอุคลาวัยกริคาซิซีเอ็มติรสิงไออินทรากันดีคัลเชอรัลเซ็นเตอร์ IGCCR ฮาดฮากาบังลาเดชยาวนิวมดดูลบุไออินทรากันดีคัลเชอรัลเซ็นเตอร์ดาคาดากจิงเอทรอยลังบัดกับ Ministry of External Affairs นัก MEA จงกสอร์การอินเดียบัดกสอร์การบังลาเดชยาวนิวมดลับเลดาวสมบูรณ์เป็นที่รำบากจงจลามิกาเลียอุมาสญาวพลังทาร์บัดอูอินเดียนไฮคอมมิชเนอร์กับอินเดียชบังลาเดชอูปราณีวาร์มาปลายดอนลังรูอูมินทรีกับตนาอาร์ตสันคัลเชอร์อุบาโพลิงโดกับเฮลท์มินิสเตอร์กับกองอันฟริดลิงโดอูเชอร์แมนกับเมกิเลสเตทแพลนนิ่งบอร์ดอุบาเมดปาลิงโดเชอร์เพอร์สันกับ UPSC บัดเดรูอุนงวัดปัญญาอูโปรเฟสเซอร์เดวิดอาร์สอิมเลบัดกิบาลาชาคอดสงบางอากันเอกสนีละปลายรูยากขณะจงอุซิมติรดซิงpada penkala kerteng ru ya ke Indian Council Cultural Research Library Dhaka Shau Tirot Singh Library hakani ki jingple ya umat sa nam jong Tirot Singh ubala yap hapo bindi Dhaka lawan ban sakiru dau sim ki ma nong khlaw ubare unong her pateng upa im fresh star manik sim le usim ki ma bhawal u kin sai bor lang sim bat ki we ya uni Motdur lashna pat punwandori u dau ba rafel wajri par ka kun hon Padna kaliang katanat kalabay pisa ko makat way lakting ka ban penurlong yaw ni umat jong uriw yapam Ri Khasi ban Pynïeng hapo Bangladesh.
Tirot Singh, one of the greatest leaders in our resistance against the colonial rule in the early 19th century. Long before the Sepoy Mutiny, Tirot Singh revolted against the expansionist policies of the then East India Company rule, and there is a very strong Dhaka connection with his life saga. Fighting valiantly against the British. It was in this city where he died nearly 2 centuries ago in 1835. Today at this commemorative event and in this city where he spent last 2 years of his life in captivity, it is a great honor for us to be able to pay our heartfelt tributes to the brave soul. Tirot Singh's life reminds us of the values of courage, conviction and determination. His supreme sacrifices inspired our national movement in unparalleled ways. The statue of Tirot Singh that we are going to unveil today here will stand as a testimony to his valor and selfless quest for freedom of his people from colonial oppression. It will also be a testimony to the close historical relations between Meghalaya and Bangladesh. During the liberation war of Bangladesh, thousands of Mukti Jodhas and refugees took shelter in Meghalaya during a very difficult time of our shared history. On that foundation of mutual respect and mutual empathy, our relations have moved forward. Today, Meghalaya is one of the key partners in Northeast India in our efforts to build strong people-to-people connection, active economic partnership, and robust connectivity linkages with Bangladesh. The new integrated checkpost at Dauki across Tamabil, whose inauguration I was privileged to attend last year, and a number of border huts that we are setting up in the bordering regions of Meghalaya and Bangladesh are adding new dimensions to the modern day relationship between India and Bangladesh. By doing all this, we are fulfilling the dreams of Tirot Singh for the well-being, happiness and prosperity of our people, dreams for which he laid down his life. His statue here in Dhaka will honor his legacy and stand for generations to come as a symbol and reminder not only of our history but also of our constant quest for a better future.
One of my most memorable days ever to be able to witness today's occasion when Tirot Singh, a chief from the distant Himanong cloud of the 19th century, has today attained the stature of a global icon. He has become international because today his memory and his life will be celebrated not just in Meghalaya but in neighboring Bangladesh. And as a college kid, I read a poem by Rupert Drew, who mentioned in one of his most poignant poems called The Soldier about a fighter, a soldier who went to battle not knowing whether he will come back alive or he will die elsewhere. The soldier started with these lines: "If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that will forever be in or good." That was in the same century, much later than Tirot Singh, but the poem brings back something similar to the life of Tirot Singh, because here we are in a ceremony that not mourns the death of Tirot Singh but celebrates his life and his achievements. And I'm proud to say that, like the soldier of Rupert Drew, now there is a slice of land that is permanently Khasi land here in Bangladesh because Tirot Singh died here. In attaining martyrdom, Tirot Singh symbolizes the valor, the spirit, the bravery, the heroism, and also the fact that the Khasi chiefs came together, as was mentioned by Dr. David Aimley, right from Shillong up to Rambrai. In those days when connectivity was a major problem, we could have so many of our chiefs, our himas, our states getting together in the form of a confederacy to embrace unity and resist colonialism. So today, it is a moment of pride for each one of us, and I'm very thankful to the High Commissioner here because of the untiring efforts that have been made in the past, which have fructified in today's event, where we are in a position to have a statue and a memorial of Tirot Singh dedicated to the people of Meghalaya here in Dhaka.
The Nongklao, Durbar and the Confederacy of Sames in alliance were concerned at the gradual penetration by the British into their hills in the early decades of the 19th century. By 1829, the sanatorium at Sora and Nongklao were under construction. Of more concern was the building of the road connecting Sylhet in the southern plains with Kamrup to the north, and the arrival of a workforce from the plains to construct that road. Earlier in 1826, Assam, including the northern hills of the Khasi Hills, were annexed to the territories of the East India Company. By this large stretches of land on the foothills adjoining Assam were lost to the Khasi states. Much earlier, the Sylhet plains, where a number of Khasi Himas controlled land, had already come under the company rule in 1765 under the Diwani of Bengal. Moreover, the company officials had cleverly entered into treaties with several of the Khasi Sames in matters of defense, road connection and sanatoria. The Khasis might not have realized the implication of the treaties at the time of giving their consent, but they did so in time, justifying their resistance. Several Khasi Himas, including Shillong before its division into Malaym and Kairan, Bhawal, Maharam, Miriau and Ramrai, participated in the Confederacy to take up arms against the British in an endeavor to drive out the British colonizers from their hills and maintain their independence. Commencing on 4th April 1829, the Anglo-Khasi War was a protracted struggle. For over 3 years, 1829 to 1833, the Khasis fought the British in what was the freedom struggle, in what was the earliest of resistance and freedom struggles in the Northeast, including in India. The heroic participation of Khan Nonglai of Nongklao in this struggle has lately caught the attention of the Indian people as one among many women and lesser known freedom fighters from the Northeast who participated in India's freedom struggle. After a valiant struggle, Same Tirot Singh laid down arms in January 1833. At Dhaka, he was treated as an ordinary prisoner, but later was placed under house arrest as a state prisoner. Able leader and brave freedom fighter, Same Tirot Singh attained martyrdom on 17th July 1835. He must have longed to return to the hills. He could not due to the nature of his confinement. He certainly had a sad end, away from his people and family, and hastened by sickness, a tradition tells, that caused his untimely death. It was my pursuit as a historian that enabled me to discover the details of Same Tirot Singh's last days and demise. Search started in January 1986. A letter to the editor dated 14th May 1835 in the Friends of India, read at the National Library, Kolkata, informed that Same Tirot Singh was provided comfortable living as a state prisoner at Dhaka. In January 1988, while on a Charles Wallace Research Grant for research at the India Office Library of Records in London, I was fortunate to locate, read, and take notes from reports of officials at Dhaka of the passing of Same Tirot Singh. Many winters back, I was in Dhaka. Not far away from where I resided was the library of the Asiatic Society of Bangladesh. Much further was the Bangladesh State Archives. No clues came from any queries of Tirot Singh, on at these repositories, other than some information in the archives of the names of prisoners and the daily allowance given to them. The Khasi chief's name was not listed in these records. Tirot Singh did not die in jail. He died having been given a bungalow and fairly comfortable living as a state prisoner. In early 2009, while on another of my annual visits to libraries and records, I made a search for additional information on the last days of Saint Tirot Singh at the National Archives of India, New Delhi, and the West Bengal State Archives, Kolkata. Interesting details of the last days of Saint Tirot Singh were read, noted, and later published. Today we recall the life and significant contribution of Saint Tirot Singh to the freedom struggle and his martyrdom for the cause he and his compatriots stood for. His sterling qualities has found expression in many forms, in songs, poetry, drama, films, art and biographies, and the skillful imagination of sculptors as we await the unveiling of another statue and work of art. I recall the conversation and exchange of mail I had with Mr. Frederick Harkungor IAS, Secretary Arts and Culture, Government of Meghalaya, placing for his consideration the first thoughts on what has come to fruition. In fact, we go back many years in the planning of this event. We are grateful to him and his office and to the Ministry of External Affairs for taking the initiative to enable this significant event to take place at Dhaka. To us, the bond of blood is a reminder of the long trek of our wandering race. And now, centuries after, we gather into an arm of resistance. I grew up to the smell of coarse grain drying in the sun and the taste of dried fish on hurdles. And dreams were shaped by the rural lanterns lit up at dusk. Now in an exile, not mine, I weep the bitterness of broken births. Return me to my land, give the grass a chance to grow again.
I am indeed very honored and delighted to be representing my country's and belong to the state's Meghalaya. On this very auspicious and momentous day to participate with all of you, India, who represents the indomitable spirits of tribal resistance movements against the colonial powers, hopefully through this symbolic gesture and the larger message of tribal contribution to the freedom movement will resonate far and wide, crossing national border, right up to the international level. And as we all know, both Bangladesh and India not only share a long boundary but also share similar traditions, culture and shared heritage, and history of fighting against the British and all other forces that seek to subdue the spirit of independence amongst our people. Today is a moment in history for the Khasi Hills and Meghalaya as we honor in posterity and salute and sacrifice the martyrdoms of our great Khasi freedom fighter by collectively unveiling the Tirot Singh Memorial here on this day in Dhaka, Bangladesh. As the previous speaker have also informed that Tirot Singh, his royal chief guest, was captured to deceive in his own homeland and later imprisoned and deported to Dhaka, where he breathed his last on 17 July 1835 and attained the martyrdom. The governments of Meghalaya remain committed and consistent in leaving no stone unturned to recognize and immortalize the courage and patriotism of the brave heart of the state like Tirot Singh, Patagon Sangma, and Ukeng Nomba, the great three leaders. It has been taking various initiatives in the past few years as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and Meghalaya at 50 to set up significant and symbolic memorials of our freedom fighters. with a view to inspire present and future generation of our citizens. Indeed, it's a proud moment for all Meghalayan today, both within the state and outside the state, as we participate and witness the inauguration of this iconic memorial today here. And I must record my gratitude and our deepest appreciations to the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, especially the Office of Overseas State and MEA, and particularly special mention and manifold thanks must be made for all the effort and all-round support extended by the High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, the ICCR and the IGC, and for their continued and consistent help extended at all levels, which has substantially contributed towards the establishment of this very, very important memorial.
And the scheme of Nongklau, the Hima under Mairang constituency where I hail from. Being a representative from the Mairang constituency to the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, in the part of the Eastern West Khasi district of the state of Meghalaya. I am here to mention here about this great leader for his visionary leadership and a patriotic figure who stood against the foreign rules for his homeland. Let me recall that in 1954, when the Tirot Singh Memorial was unveiled at Mairang by the then Governor of Assam, Sri Jairam Das Dolatam, Tirot Singh was described as a king who has bequeathed to the Khasis and Jaintias the tradition of a broad outlook and of brave deeds.
For me today to be a part of this very important program here at Dhaka, Bangladesh. For young people who will likely have no connections with the past, it is only programs like this that will bring to the forefront the importance of honoring our forefathers in their various missions and assignments in freedom fighting. I feel that today is an important day for us because we, in this journey, are now able to see important places linked to this famous person that is engraved in history, and all of us know that he is a household name, Tirot Singh. And today I'll be very happy to be able to visit the jail where he was held prisoner, and I today have learned a lot because I am now privy to information which likely never interested me. Thank you so much for having me here. I want to especially thank Mr. Frederick Roy Khumor IAS and Mr. Dob IAS for bringing us here. And I wish this program the very best, and may we remember Tirot Singh in generations to come.